You asked if we were ready, and then all of a sudden I heard a loud noise on the other side of the door. I'm like, he's fine, I'm sure.
Nice.
Yeah. Are we
He's
ready?
probably
And just
fine.
throw a brick at Rhodes' door.
Whatever. He's gonna go downstairs to play God of War soon anyway. I've barely seen him since that came out.
That sounds
Yeah.
surprising.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I love
Dirt of
that
War.
game so much.
We are theoretically live.
Well, I don't know that we are because I'm
And
getting
I'm an
ad.
ad.
Don't you only get an ad if we're live?
Yeah. So
So
we must be live.
We
Hey,
are
keep
live.
your lawyer talk for when we're in session, please.
warming up. I'm in the middle of negotiations at
Yeah,
work.
there you
and
go,
I'm like,
there you
I'm
go.
on it right now.
It's been a bit. We got to get warmed up back to our roles. Hello, everyone on the internet. Welcome to tonight's episode of Decisions and Dragons. This is our first gathering post our Extra Life game day. Our batteries are recharged. We're feeling better. We're feeling excited. And because I'm a glutton for punishment, I will say this once now and probably again later.
Flip it.
If
Whatever
we
it
hit
is, click it.
$300 in donations tonight, then I will do a shot of Malort in the middle of the session. And I'm sure that will lead to wonderful things. But when last we left our intrepid heroes, they had continued to venture, whichever, same thing. Into
Venture
the
and
forest,
adventure.
into the forest surrounding Singorn, coming upon Ceto's family. What was revealed to be I'm going to say a herd of quokkas.
Colony. Let's say a colony of Kawaka.
A colony works.
Mhm.
Because that really implies a lot. Which had immediately swarmed him and smothered him in love, and it was wonderful and adorable. And everybody's sort of gotten understanding of why Ceto is as smiley as Ceto is. During this chance encounter with his family, you had encountered what seemed to be an elite group of Singorian elves who seemed to have caught wind of some strange presence in your vicinity. Investigating the area and with some mighty handy stealth checks. Very stealthy, Brian. I had no idea that you just took a bite of that chocolate bar. You guys managed to avoid detection as they stepped through a portal that one of their druids had opened to join the conflict in Kaimel, the city you had just left but a few days prior. After feeling safe and secure after this nigh discovery from the enemy, as you are about to leave, one quokka, I believe his name was like Peter,
Frederick.
Frederick, close enough, had led you to a strange metal man that lie in pieces, the form of a former acquaintance of some of these heroes by the name of Cretheus, who looked like he had fallen from the sky, had been left covered in rust and just in multiple pieces. The group gathered him up, brought him into the cart, but continued their journey to Orencleft, the city where they're supposed to have a connection that leads them into the Feywild. And that
You having a
is
stroke
where we
over
left
there,
off.
Joe? You good?
I'm more just coming to terms with my stupidity in invoking the Malort again.
Malort!
You taste
That's
it
it.
already in the back of your throat. Like you just taste it.
Kinda. I'm regretting my decision to not have a chaser ready to go just in case it happens.
Cujo,
You know
did
what
you
I
tell?
need
That's
to-
okay.
Go for it.
No, go ahead, Rhodesy. Go ahead. I don't know why I just called you
I'm-
Rhodesy, but
That's a new one.
anyway,
I don't know how I
Rhodesy,
feel
go
about
ahead.
it. No.
Didn't like it.
But well, I was just trying to torture Joseph and tell him that there's a bar in Lombard, Villa Park, that
Oh, well,
actually
the whole
makes a
story's ruined.
beer with Malort in it. So I will go buy you some of that, and I'll bring it to your house.
No,
How's that
that's
sound?
double trouble. Beer is disgusting.
Oh, That's why I want to
Ah,
bring it
beer's
to you and watch
delicious.
you drink it.
I hate you.
For the children.
For the children.
Oh yeah.
Cujo, did you tell him about? I'm talking. Cujo, did you tell him about that? I'm totally just kidding. I'm totally just kidding. I'm gonna die. Oh god, I'll see myself out. I'll see you. Oh god.
You can tell it just like that came, like you didn't even think about it. That just like came out of your mouth.
Can you tell we haven't played together in
Please
like...
regale us with whatever it is you were about to tell us.
Remember that one time we did that Hot Ones challenge and then took a shot of Malort before we had like the final
Why would
wing
you-
with
why
the
would
bomb
you-
on it?
Why would you do that?
Because
I did
you can't
not
even
do
taste the
any of
Malort.
that.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can't taste
I was
the
gonna
Malort.
say, your
No
mouth is
wonder
so
Cujo
burnt
has
out.
digestive issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have bad acid reflux. I got through 2, and that second one, I was like, oh, this is already a death sentence. I'm already tapped out. But I got to watch all the rest of you idiots finish out your Hot Ones challenge, and all of you look like a cat that's got like fucking shit flying in its face, doing the face where your neck disappears after you had the bomb. That was
The
all
bomb
you,
is
and
terrible.
I loved
It ta-
every second of it.
It tastes terrible. It is terrible. But I'd still probably eat it again.
Speaking of Da Bomb, quick reminder: we are not sponsored by Hot Ones, but
No, but that's a damn good interview if you ever want to watch
that
one.
is a very
Yeah,
hell
very-
yeah.
Pick any.
Any episode
good
is
interview.
great. Tenacious D was amazing to watch. But quick shout outs to some companies who have supplied us with awesome resources to make this game a thing. First off, big shout out to Sirenscape. They have an online app that allows for hundreds of different sound sets for both official Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, even Cyberpunk settings, and Starfinder, actually. So if you are also a tabletop RPGer like we are, feel free to use Sirenscape. They have a free membership, but then you can also sign up and get access to all of their content. So super handy, love using it for years. Also, big shout out to Monument Studios. Their newest development is the Fantasy Plus Player. That is something we might be trying in the future, just to kind of test the waters of other players. They have a huge library of gigs of license-free music, whether you're designing your own game, whether you're running a TTRPG like we are, whether you are one that likes to sit and chill with some awesome music in the background. Monument Studios is awesome. So by all means, look into them as well. And that is all for our shout outs, I believe. Quick update, Extra Life wise. We are, I believe, just under what, 3,500 for donations so far
I
raised?
can tell you. Hold on. You just got our donation, so I'm looking.
Oh shit.
God, I hope it's like $300. Hold on. Donor drive is loading. Give me a second.
What's interesting, the moment you said we have a donation, Tina's eyes flared.
Was it you, Tina?
1 minute ago,
though.
we got a $100 donation
Shit.
for the Malort.
For the Malort.
Okay.
Hashtag
And
Malort.
that puts us at
Lord.
34.45.
Thank you, Tina.
34.45. Tina, you are wonderful.
I should
So-
have looked at the total. I don't like that number. I would have just rounded it up to 500 at 3,500. That just bothers me now.
But first off, Tina, thank you so much for your donation. Do I wanna should I add like a little Extra Life quirk for that? That's $100.
No, but no. Trust me. The potential of Malort is really just gift enough.
That's fair. You know what? That's fair. There's your incentive. You are closer to me drinking Malort on stream.
hmm
Your Malort face is pretty funny.
I'm just saying, I experienced it during Extra Life, and it was really something. So
You know, Steve's made a comment the other day after I posted the video of me eating the lemon. He's like, "You are the weird food guy now of Nerd House Tabletop. I hope you're
true.
happy."
You are.
Yeah.
My stomach was like twinging for you when you were eating that lemon.
The lemon itself, okay, it was an assault on your taste buds, but it wasn't as bad as the peel. Like it was just a lot, and the like I don't. It's not membrane, but like the stuff that connects the wedges. That's the stuff that sucked because you couldn't just swallow it. You had to sit and struggle and all that crap. But we are totally off topic. Anyway, we now return to our intrepid heroes as they continue their travel through the forests surrounding Singorn. Now, given that you did spot several elves stepping through some of the trees, I'm going to ask for a group stealth check to maneuver through the forest to try to go around the city towards Orencleft. It is within a day's travel at this point, so assuming everything goes well, you'll be able to get there pretty much right at nightfall.
Is our carriage invisible right now?
I know you
know we
guys had
had- we-
activated it. I don't
Yeah.
know if you guys want to activate that again. I'll say it'll give you substantial
Yeah, I would assume we do.
help.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when they've had it activated for a while because I know CAD definitely activated it when they went. Into
Okay.
the forest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stealth? Oh, God. Yeah.
27.
20, well, you're the rogue. 5 from the lawyer.
12.
It's okay.
12.
He's inside the carriage.
Okay. Is that a 2 or an 11, Dustin?
It's 11.
Okay.
They're goalposts.
Mm.
Clearly, they're goalposts.
So they're rolling perception. I was totally
Stealth.
stealth. Okay, sounds good. I was totally thinking about that lemon and the membrane and just having
It's
Flashbacks.
an experience. Yeah.
it's not good.
It's an experience, and let me tell you, it's not a
7.
good one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a very cash money experience at all, if you will, as the kids say.
The kids say. So those new dice, Novus clearly sent me because I rolled a nat one.
Okay.
Is
Sorry,
that your
y'all.
first roll on those?
That's my
dice?
first roll on those dice. First official roll on those dice. It was a nat one.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Clearly, Novus cursed them,
Oh, God.
motherfucker.
All right.
Yeah, sorry, y'all.
As you are traveling through. Now, the DC was substantially lowered given that you guys are traveling with the invisibility activated. However, as you travel through, as you get closer to the perimeter of Singorn, you're starting to get up close and personal. And you're now within about 100 feet to where you can see some of these elves stepping through these portals. You get a closer look at just the numbers that continue to pour out of Singorn. All the suits of armor, all the blades. You're even seeing what look like small groups of elves carrying components of something. Large wooden beams, possibly to assemble some siege equipment on the other side. Now, this being said... Oh, go ahead,
Real
Sam.
quick. To justify my nat one, I would imagine I'm very preoccupied with looking for anybody who has the slug, worm,
Slug.
the slug, just to see like how many, if it's specific, like general, like specific people, that kind of thing. Is hence the nat one.
With that being the case, go ahead and make me a perception check. I'll say everybody make me a perception check as well.
I'll take the apology for a nat 20.
Oh,
There you fucking go.
Wow.
Mako had something
God
to do
damn
with
it.
that one.
19.
Nice.
25.
Nice.
28.
Nice.
4.
Jesus.
Fuck.
14.
I
Dermot
rolled a
leading
19 and I have plus 9.
All right.
Dermot rolling human, fallible, normal person numbers.
Christian is perfectly human, thank you very much.
Totally human.
As shown by the stealth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you were traveling through, I'll say that you guys are communicating with each other when you spot the slug on the back of some of these elves' ears. And Faraday, your assumptions are correct. seemingly any unit leaders, captains, lieutenants, anybody with a position of authority over the forces have the slugs that you can see. What's also an interesting little piece of information. Who got the highest? Okay. Cad.
On the nat 20, but that's a
got
25.
it. I'll say the both of you guys see this. As you're traveling through, you hear what sounds like a voice, a distinctly male, masculine, deeper voice, almost shout in Elven, "Halt!" And you watch all the elves in the distance stop moving at once.
Creepy.
Like reach over for Faraday. You know, like when you are with your friend and you're like, did you hear that?
There's this moment of tension as you're keeping an eye in the direction of Singorn. The cart has stopped moving. You hear a teensy bit of movement through the trees in the distance, in the direction of those elves. And you all can see a small creature, shorter than the elves, distinctly of a different race. There is a cloak up covering up the majority of their features, but it cannot hide the long Kenku beak.
Oh, God.
And over its shoulder, looking strangely like a firearm that you would spot in Whitestone, is a long rifle. You can see a bandolier, complete with what could be 30, perhaps 40 bullets. And as you look closer with your nat 20 and insane roll, Cad, you see that the hand holding the rifle is fused to the firearm. You see this creature look back and forth. The elves almost regarding this small creature with authority, not moving a muscle. You see the rifle come down. And you see the creature step forward a few steps, almost eagle-eyed, eyes darting back and forth with a distinct, almost amber color. And they look back and forth a few times before the rifle goes back up onto the shoulder. Still on edge, the Kenku turns, and instead of a similar voice echoing out from this creature, it lets out this piercing gunshot sound with its beak. And almost like the forces were expecting this, all the elves continue their previous activities. And the Kenku slowly marches back towards the city. For the moment, it seems, you have evaded detection, but only just barely.
How many of these potential siege weapons that are being created do I see? I rolled a 25 on my perception.
So with a 25, and given your, I'd say, knack for inventory, cataloging how many pieces are being pulled through these portals, at the moment, you can deduce about 3 or 4.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do?
I would like to stop coming up with cool character ideas because I feel like I'm being punished now. Although I'm very flattered. But Dustin knows that we're kind of fucked if that thing comes back.
That was just the one.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He
What?
wasn't. That was not the
Oh,
only
no.
cool thing to happen in that game.
You would be
That
correct.
was an extremely fun game.
Oh, I
Mhm.
don't know. I don't like our decisions coming back to bite us in the ass. That's not fair.
Wait, would you say that you didn't like your Decisions and Dragons?
I'm out.
Dude, at
We're
this
out.
point, I'll take the fucking dragon.
Yeah, goodbye.
I was just gonna
Can
say,
we have
are-
a dragon instead?
no.
Maybe a young one. I don't want like an ancient
Wait,
dragon. It's like a
the
crazy
last
dance.
didn't we have a young dragon, and that's when bad things happened? With
Yeah, thanks,
Thurston?
Faraday.
We're level at this point. At that point, we're stronger now. We've got another party member.
All the
We'll be
secrets
fine.
have come out.
That the new party member technically doesn't know, but like whatever, he'll find out eventually.
Oh yeah,
You'd-
with shit, we didn't even share that, have we?
Oh,
All the
I'm a
secrets
list
have
of
come out,
person
you
who
guys
doesn't
don't-
know.
All the secrets have come out, not realizing that Cito's a mind flayer. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, thanks for
He was
ruining
not a
that.
mind flayer.
Shit.
Raised by quackers.
Yeah.
The nicest mind flayer you
You'll
ever meet.
meet.
That's literally what my notes read from last week. It's basically visit Cito's home. They're Quackus. That's it.
I'd,
All right.
well, again, look at Faraday and just
What was that?
Okay, but how many people are there? Do we see?
With a 25, in the time that you guys have been slowly making your way through the forest on your cart, you could count another couple of hundred have gone through these portals. So it's very clear that the initial attack, I believe it was Faraday who had mentioned, it was most likely a scout. The bulk of the Singorian forces are now traveling via portal to the Ivyheart Thicket to continue the siege. Nice and proper. That's right, Mercer. I used proper.
Okay. I'm debating how smart Thurston is right now.
Very smart.
He's actually only got a 10 intelligence.
Yeah.
He's a wisdom character.
Well,
like, he's
here's-
wise.
Here's the
Very
question.
useless.
Is this how smart Thurston is? Book smart? Or are you trying to resist a temptation?
Resist temptation because he's counting the number of people, the number of soldiers that he sees going to his sister and his family, and he could only assume that shortly thereafter they'd probably head towards Western if they took over Kaimel. And so there's a part of him that's like, I will burn all of your portals to the ground. Bring your siege weapons that way. But he also knows that that's not like the smartest thing for them to do at that moment.
Go ahead, Cito.
I have a question. Did Cito see the slugs? Is that kind of common knowledge now?
Yes.
Yeah.
After the battle with the three hags, you guys came to the conclusion, actually through Faraday, after dealing with Landon, the warlock in your party, the slugs that are on the back of these creatures' ears have this sort of mind-affecting ability, which is influencing these people's decisions. And it's
Dragons.
entirely possible. You managed to deduce that these slugs were being used by someone in the Feywild to manipulate those on the material plane.
So they're just kind of just magical slugs then?
Yeah, pretty much. They latch onto a host, and then whatever commands the seemingly person in charge wants to send, gets sent through the slugs, and then the commands are carried out. Okay. Cito's like, so about that burning of the forest.
Well, I had a similar thought. I did have a similar thought. I'm like, why don't we just get rid of all the doors? Like, but then I was also like, I do have a family of Kawakas,
Yeah.
and Kawakas technically do eat bugs. They could technically eat the slugs. However, how would that work?
That conjures a terrifying mental image.
I just
Just
want to see the
this-
swarm of them.
Yeah.
Just
Send.
They're so adorable.
The
They just
ground,
start eating your face.
the ground
Mhm.
slightly
smiling.
shakes from a stampede of quackas.
You don't see them
It's
coming.
disturbed.
You
Like,
just
oh,
see
did
the
someone leave
you
like
see
a
the
washer or a
underbrush.
dryer on?
No, it's like the underbrush. You just hear it rustle, and then it's just quackos everywhere. They just overrun you.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys doing?
Are we burning things?
Can I burn things?
I mean,
We'd have.
so
How
here's
far
the
are we
thing.
away from my family? Because we'd have to move my whole colony.
Yeah, I mean, fire also spreads and stuff, so there's that part too.
Oh yeah, I haven't learned how to control any water yet.
Yeah, we haven't. I know. Does anyone know how to do that in here?
No.
Landon looks visibly uncomfortable as the question of burning down an entire forest.
It's not that I
No.
want to
This
burn
is
down
war.
the entire forest per se. It's that the idea of knowingly just riding past a group of soldiers that are literally attacking the place where my sister and her young children live is very difficult to swallow.
I mean,
I get it.
Wouldn't
I'm
the
not-
problem?
Sorry.
No. I mean, okay. We could burn down the forest, or at least not like the whole thing, but a small portion of it, right? Like just those trees. The problem is that if they have more people who can open portals, they could just find different trees.
So we do have to burn down the whole forest.
We're not burning down the
We're not burning
Well,
down the forest.
I think
Cito
the
goes
problem
really
is
close
the
to Thurston.
destination trees are the ones we would need to get rid of.
Well, yeah.
Good. Good, Cito.
Cito goes close to Thurston and is just like, I do love fire.
Thanks.
Jesus.
Appreciate that.
He just walks away.
Like, I'm not going to do anything if it's not the right thing to do. I'm counting the number of soldiers that are literally going to attack my family. It's difficult not to react.
You like
You
chop something
contact-
through.
Have
Is
you
there-
contacted your sister recently?
No, we've been trying to travel silently. I didn't think a full-blown conversation would be the best bet.
Well, you could go inside the carriage. Are we not, like, during this whole conversation, are we not actively moving with the carriage?
I will say, if you guys plan on moving forward, given the close call that you had, I will need one more group stealth check.
I will say Cad's giving it a wider berth than before as well.
I'm just saying, if we have do we have something that, no, it's like delayed fire, like fire that you can chuck into a tree and out the other side.
Cito's like, I am that fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I will
mean,
rain fire on all of them.
I'm not gonna say that's necessarily a deal breaker.
I have a question. Sometimes, like when my family and I would like to catch bugs and stuff, we would like to make like little traps and things. Is there anything like any traps that we can make? Like that we could like put on the trees that if they, I don't know, got close to it or something, it just explodes in their face or something like that?
I was like, I'll open my bag and start digging through it to see if I have traps in the bag, because honestly, it hasn't been cleaned out in a while.
You are correct.
We don't keep body parts in there, though.
You know, to be honest,
Yet.
it's. I really wouldn't put it past. I don't know what's in there. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, one time my third cousin, who's also like his third cousin of the seventh cousin of a sixth cousin of an eighth cousin, one time got his foot caught in a big trap that was just so happened to be out. I think they're usually meant for like mice or something, but yeah, my poor cousin, distant cousin.
Aw.
Was he okay?
He still can't walk fully correctly. I think
Oh.
it broke his foot a little bit, but he has a little bit of a limp. But even something like that was a pretty vicious trap.
Or we
I-
go to the root of the problem.
I mean, that's the thing, is also most of these people are not.
We know who's guiding them.
On the Fey Forest. I don't actually say that.
Oh, I mean, that we could
Rose
totally
thinks
do.
it.
Says the Fae.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know what? Maybe it just
He's like,
is
I didn't grow up there. Whatever.
new.
That ain't my neighborhood.
You know what? Sometimes you just have
It's
to burn
my
it.
neighborhood.
What if, like, you were to like burn it down, but then like make it better afterward?
Not burning
You know,
down.
rebirth, all of that stuff.
If we keep moving, instead of trying to take an army on head on, just the 6 of us, 7 of us, sorry.
And none taken.
We go to the source of the problem. We know that they're being controlled, whether it's being dictated by their leader or by Novus. One of the two has to be pulling the strings. Either their leader's being manipulated by Novus, or they're just doing the manipulating in general. We stop that, and maybe they'll lose at least some organization. Enough for Heimel to get an upper hand in the village, and delay at least enough for resources and reinforcements. We can't take on an entire army.
We know that logically, but it's also difficult knowing that you've said time works differently in the Feywild. What if we get there and it's already too late?
Could we sneak in or something and get your family out? I know it's not the most honorable thing, but you know, sometimes it's better to live to fight another day.
We'd have to backtrack all the way to the city, and that's also probably
I don't
not the
think
best
we
option.
can backtrack.
Yeah.
Only you knew somebody who had control of time. And that voice emanates from the back corner of the carriage as Mako has seemingly appeared seated amongst all of you.
What? There's not even enough seats for you, dude.
Like on your lap.
Sorry.
You know
Yeah.
what?
It's
If
like,
this is
oh.
we're gonna have to get a bell if this is gonna be a thing.
Oh, I don't need one. Surely you're sort of expecting something like this. At least I believe Faraday could be.
She's like already like halfway out of the carriage, like climbing out the window to sit up top next to Cad. Like, she's like, nope,
Too
nope,
many people.
nope.
Did Faraday share?
No, Faraday did not share with the class. Only our Athea knows. At the moment, we've been a little busy.
Okay. Just
I don't
making sure.
think has Cito met Mako yet?
No,
No.
Cito has not met Mako.
Mako.
You see a drow
Mhm.
with glowing purple eyes, sharpened ears, and long black hair, sort of loosely tied in a ponytail, wearing what looks like older leather armor, but seated in a position that just gives off arrogance and confidence.
Wow. Where did you come from?
Hmm.
You look
I've
awesome.
been here the whole time.
Oh, what?
Cito, this is Mako. Landon, this is Mako. Mako, these are our new friends, Landon and
Landon and
Cito.
Mako. I forgot that these two.
Calmed. Landon just instinctively glares and his arm starts to extend to reveal the gold energy. Not the full sword, but enough.
I
Nice
not
try.
want to do that.
I'm Cedo, and I pull out a little seed and give him a little daisy.
Charmed. And he takes the daisy. And as he holds it, you watch as it slowly wilts.
Oh, that one must have been a defective one. Sorry, here's another one.
Thank you. He
what's
takes it, and
defective?
similarly, another one wilts in his
Must
hand.
have been a bad
Well,
batch of
this
seeds.
is limitlessly entertaining.
Here, you can have this
If I
one
recall correctly,
It's a
you just give him a
instead.
bouquet
It's a
of flowers.
It's a watermelon. No, I give you a watermelon.
Jesus Christ. You know what? Fine. He'll be like, fine.
You
He
can make
holds the
hooch out of that,
watermelon.
Mako.
It's actually a good point. And he just sort of. Anyway, if I recall correctly, you had discovered something about portals, time and space when we were adventuring together, hadn't you?
We discovered a lot of things.
I believe your friend Gilmore had revealed some sort of manuscript or something. I can't
Why
quite
don't
remember.
you tell us
Okay.
what you know, and then we'll fill in the gaps.
Please.
Yes. Gilmore gave us very nice history of a manuscript. And a part of it,
And the-
actually, come to think of that.
I believe there was something mentioned inside called a triennium. Am I
Mhm.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
A construct as the go-between between all of the universes that exist out there. Yes?
Indeed.
We could always appeal to it, perhaps put a sort of lock or something to secure that the time you spend in the Feywild equals the same amount of time that exists out here on the material plane.
I suppose that's theoretically possible if we even could. We don't know anything else really in order to be able to make that bid.
Perhaps not.
Which part? We know quite a bit. So we
Tina,
have
you're
a...
cutting in and out a little bit.
What? That's BS.
No.
We know a decent amount, I think, and we have, well, a construct here that's a little odd.
You could perhaps rejuvenate it enough to send a message.
Well, I mean, presumably, can you send to a... I guess it can't hurt. We do
Who's to say you couldn't?
We could send.
Just food for thought. Speaking of which, thank you, little Cito, for the watermelon.
Oh.
They're one of my favorites,
Mm.
as well as all the other fruits and vegetables out there. Delicious.
Mako, may I ask, and I do mean this with all due respect, but
What the fuck are you doing here?
why show up here to help us again? Generally speaking, our relationships have only been when they're mutually beneficial.
Who says this one isn't, Faraday?
Oh yeah, she's like half out, like she's crawled out and is just
But-
like trying really hard not to engage
Yeah.
in this conversation.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Cito.
I'm driving, but can I hear everything that's going on too, or am
Yeah,
I like
I'd
totally
say that
out of the
there's-
loop?
You got
Like,
that
You
window.
can hear the conversation.
do we have the
Yeah.
cab window?
You got the
open?
cab window
You
open.
Right through it.
Yeah. Faraday came out through it.
Everything okay?
Go ahead, Cito. What were you gonna say?
You know, honestly, I probably even shouldn't say it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
kind of stupid.
No, you should.
No,
Okay.
you didn't.
All right, fine. I have a question. You said you've been watching us a while. I just went to the bathroom over there. You weren't watching us go to the bathroom, were you?
I'm so glad you said it.
He leans forward and gets eye to eye with you. I can tell that you have a quality that these other heroes seem to possess, and that is a seemingly unbreakable will to try and make people smile.
He is pretty good.
And
at
since I know that I'm not exactly welcome amongst your group, I'll just leave you with this little bit of wisdom. How are you going to make people smile when the world itself falls apart?
I'll have to think about that one. That seems pretty serious. But I feel like there would definitely be some flowers and maybe some dancing. Just to try and get people happy with life. Oh, and
He
of
leans
course,
back.
watermelons.
He leans back, and as he does, the shade of the corner of the inner part of the carriage almost seems to slowly overtake him. But as he does, you should keep him around. Perhaps he's the bolster to your morale that you truly need. But in the meantime, ask Faraday why I'm here. And as he smiles, the shadow overtakes him completely, and the last thing to slowly fade away are the glowing purple eyes until his form sinks into the darkness and disappears.
Cat doesn't turn her
That guy
head.
has pretty eyes.
Fucking snitch.
They're like jewels.
Yeah,
Evil
Cat
jewels.
doesn't. Cat
He's an
doesn't turn her
interesting
head,
person.
but she does like the mom thing when you're driving. She goes, "What the hell's he talking about, Faraday?" Just keeps
Yeah,
driving the car.
I pop outside, out the window.
Is he
Bastard.
watching us right now?
Probably.
Perhaps
Probably.
It's really hard to
he's
tell.
honestly not that bad once you get to know him.
It's just
I
fun
mean,
to
I-
push his buttons sometimes.
At least he was sober when he showed
He
up.
thinks it's fun to push yours sometimes.
Right now he's only pushing Faraday's.
Was he sober though?
I don't know.
He's drunk with power.
Does Jericho know about that?
Many conversations.
Oh.
Don't make
Somebody
me
else
pull
who
this
doesn't know
carriage
about
over,
Faraday.
Faraday.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was mom voice.
Faraday,
So
far
what
be it
happened?
from anyone in this group to force another to reveal information they don't wish to. I think we can all agree that that's a situation none of us would have ever wanted to be in certain times in our lives.
Kind of a long story, but she looks around. Is it safe to be like waxing poetic and monologuing around here?
At this point, you guys.
What is
this
it?
point-
Is it safe to monologue?
At this point, you guys have driven a fair enough distance away from the elven forces that you feel confident that nobody will hear you.
We gotta learn silence. We gotta learn how to do that shit.
When we left Vasselheim, Mako gave me a get out of jail free card, emergency button, a way to summon him if we ever needed help. I haven't used it because, yes.
Never mind. It's stupid. If you need an emergency button, I thought he was always watching us.
Oh god, I hope he wasn't always watching us.
I think he was always watching us.
Uh-oh.
Oh god. Oh no.
Would we have been able to discern from Mako, like, did he mean emergency button, or, like, I guess, like, I want to roll insight to figure out, is Faraday leaving some shit out, or is, like, that all that we would believe she knows?
Yeah, I want to roll insight on what Mako had said about "I'm always watching" because I'm
You could roll a
Batman.
You could roll a retroactive insight if you'd like.
Can I assist on that?
Sure.
To give him advantage.
Well, here's the thing: perception, insight, like those sort of information, investigation check. Well, investigation. I'm gonna say separate.
I got a 21.
21. I'm gonna say for insight checks and perception checks, those are ones that is a little difficult to give somebody advantage on.
It's because more individual.
It's individual. It's your innate perception of either somebody's behavior or literally just perceiving the world. So I would say if you want to make your own insight check, by all means you can. 21 insight. Okay. And Cito, let me know what you get.
I would like to insight
18.
check Faraday, if that's okay, to see if you're basically like telling us all the information or like what are you not telling us since
Do you want me to
left
finish?
info about Mako out?
Yeah.
I mean, do you want me to finish the story first?
Oh, like yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry I
but
interrupted.
Yes. No, you're good. I just before
Yeah.
you know.
I will give
But
the
yes,
the result
continue
of the
results
insight.
of the insights.
Yeah.
Let me roll.
I'll say,
done, sorry.
Dermot, your DC was slightly lower, given that you did adventure with him previously, and you were a part of him getting the armor that gave him his abilities. You know that whatever extra abilities Mako had achieved definitely granted him boons that may not have been available to him otherwise. And considering that he kind of Batmaned in and then Bram Stoker Dracula'd out
That's the
in the
vibe I got.
span,
That's the
of like a
vibe.
minute and a half to 2 minutes, leads you to believe that whatever abilities he has been gaining, it's just consistently getting more and more powerful as time goes on. So what you take from that is up to you, but there could be a possibility that he has some sort of scrying presence on those he deems worthy of his attention. As for Cito, you, in the maybe couple of minutes that he was around, you don't find him to be the kind to waste his time on deceit or lying. He was pretty upfront and very honest about his communications that you sort of were able to gather. I mean, in your time adventuring and being around other people, you've seen when people are trying to lie or hide something or anything like that.
Yeah.
Something about his confidence and arrogance gave you the sense that he doesn't need to lie.
Yeah,
But
that guy
from
just
here,
seems like a big teddy bear.
hey, people get what they want out of the information.
Cujo,
bought the teddy bear at the
Yes.
adult store and it was actually
with
a dick.
Yeah.
with the sense that I get from what Mako said and his ability to have just shown up on us like that, I'm gonna look down at this item that I have around my neck, and I look around at this item that I'm pretty damn sure is still around everybody else's necks, and I say out loud, if we ever get back to Joran Village, I'm asking for a refund.
The ones you have around your
yeah,
neck are
these are
actually the ones you got from
Gilmore's.
Gilmore.
Yeah, we replaced the Joran Village ones after they did that whole
Mhm.
weird ghost necromancy thing going on.
Gilmore sold us
in
defective product.
In response to this, Landon, who's the voice for the DM in this moment, says, "Why don't we let her finish?"
Kind of just like she doesn't thank him, but she looks at him. Kinda gives him a thankful look. After we left Kaimel, So, he gave me the crystal. Then mysteriously vanished off the ship, as he does. After we left Kaimon, knew I couldn't go into the Feywild without something. Magic, additional skills. And unfortunately, I didn't have time to go find somebody else to teach me. Short of leaving the rest of you, going on my own, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to protect any of you stubborn assholes. Made a decision. I summoned him. The intent of asking him to do this. My intention was not to ask for powers. Didn't even know he could do that. He offered. And instead
Wait,
of...
so he's not going to come with us?
Oh, well... I don't know if he can cross planes, but the deal was I could choose. He comes with us and helps. Or he gives me the ability to do what I'm trying to do. At least supplements what I've lost.
Wait, so you have magic again?
She'll kind of wave her hand a little bit just over her face. Like, it's a little bit of like that, like, just wringing your face kind of stressed. But as she does it, her face changes.
Oh.
New. Some old. But I don't entirely know what all I can do. It was either that or have him come along and have to babysit him. Picked what I thought would be the better option. I'd rather have him here and potentially keep an eye on someone else I think is in danger than have him fall under Novus's control, or I didn't want the two of them in the same realm. Felt like that might have been a bad decision. As much as I...
Yeah, you're
Mako.
probably onto something with that. And as dark and brooding and mysterious as that guy is, I think you could have done a lot worse.
She changes back. So.
Yeah, you could have.
I mean, I guess he's a better asshole to be aligned with than the Fey asshole that you were previously aligned with.
The devil you know.
Oh god, he isn't
Fey-
a fiend now, is he?
The
Archfey-
unequivocally powerful telepathic darkness, you know?
It's better to have the choice.
I didn't have the choice when I first got my... Well, I did, but I didn't know any better.
And how do you
That
feel
was
now
not
that
much
you
of a
have your
choice.
abilities back?
Better. Control.
Magic users.
I understand
What do you
did
mean,
what
you
had to
people?
do, but I hope you also understand that we don't judge your worth as our friend based upon the magic that you can do.
I know that. And I know that you're all coming to this very dangerous place because... And... I know that you would follow me, even if I tried to leave you behind. And this is the best way I can keep as safe as I possibly can. I know you're all capable, but I just needed a little bit of assurance.
Oh.
Should have told you all sooner. I just, between running from Kymel, not getting attacked by Singhorn Elms, it kind of fell by the way.
We all have secrets, Faraday. I think throughout everything, we've discovered that.
I'm trying to keep less.
But now I guess we just need to find the fastest way to the Feywild, and I'm just driving. I have no idea how far away we are from that portal.
Landon doesn't say anything, but he regards Faraday with a look that just says, I've been there. And just kind of, before he's a little, I don't want to say aloof, because he's not an aloof person by any means, but like talking about this random city called Kymel and this crazy army and shit. He's sort of letting
element,
the
yeah.
shit he doesn't understand just glaze over, as this is not his world, but the plight that you just illustrated, he kind of keys into and just regards you with a little bit more respect than he probably did previously. With that in mind, the travel continues onward. Now with a little bit more assurance that you're going in with perhaps a little bit more firepower than you'd originally thought, you make it out, well, make it out of the bulk of the forest and find yourself on a small, relatively newish, not well-developed dirt trail leading towards the mountains that Singhorn is also next to. But knowing that you are heading in a different direction, you can spot some clear signs of inhabitants of a small village. You can see that there are some trees that have been chopped down. But you can also see evidence that, like, you can see where the trunk had been chopped, but then you're seeing some growth out of that same trunk. Clearly some sort of druidic magic to rejuvenate the tree that had just donated itself to their cause. You can smell a little bit of dinner. Somebody's cooking something on the air. Gives a nice sort of welcome scent. As you can spot in the distance through the trees, a little bit of what looks like campfire light as the sun has officially set at this point. You can spot a few torches outside of very small, rudimentary huts. Or you have found Ohrencleft. Jericho was not kidding. This is a smattering of very small buildings. Let me turn off the wagon sounds, and we will do doop-a-doop-a-doo, this one. As you approach, I'm going to turn off that. We don't need rain right now. It's not raining. You can hear the sounds of small animals and birds and some owls in the distance as night has fallen at this point. But as you approach, you can spot a couple of humanoid figures illuminated from the back by some of the campfire light. These small shacks are built around a central point, which is just a large bonfire. You can clock about 5 or 6 individuals that are around this fire, feasting on what looks to be some small game or the recent hunt, something along those lines. As you approach, one of these humanoid figures is illuminated from the back. You can see that she is wearing some torn and dirtied robes. She has what looks to be a woven circlet out of some twigs that some of the pieces have little small branches where some leaves still grow. She has not a quite like a crazy gnarled branch staff, but it's definitely not the best looking druidic focus you've ever seen. It basically looks like she just picked a branch up off the ground and decided that this was her focus. So you see several different branches coming off of a more structurally sound central branch, but she sort of holds it to the side so that it actually hits the ground. She has long auburn hair, fair skin with a few freckles here and there. And she actually approaches your company as you approach, and she says, hi. We don't really deal with outsiders very often. May I ask your purpose here? And she asks, you could see her posture is a little tense as a cart coming out of the darkness has approached their village. Some of the others around the bonfire, all visibly of elven descent in some way, shape, or form. Some of the ears pointier than others, but she is very clearly a wood elf.
Looking for Rena?
Hi, yes, I am Brenna.
Jericho sent us.
You see her expression shift.
Bad. Good. Awful.
Well,
His ass.
how is he these days?
Insight check.
Insight check away.
Damn.
Oh my god. Did
Oh,
he
is this
say
an
his girlfriend to his
ex-girlfriend?
ex-girlfriend? Oh my god.
Can I
I need popcorn for this shit.
as that's happening, I get excited because I see another Drew. I'm like, oh, nice. I walk up. Hi, I'm Cito. I really like your staff. It's really unique. And here's an apple. And I sprout a little apple.
Thank
I
you.
like your
Cito.
hair.
Thank you, Cito.
Your sleeves
She
are
just sort
real
of
big.
takes the apple. She's like, you're relatively young in your career with nature, aren't you? Welcome.
11.
Faraday, what was your 11? You're getting a little bit of like scorn coming off of her
I'm
at
gonna-
his name.
Oh, I'm gonna kick his ass. Oh, I'm gonna kick his ass.
So, let me just add thank you. She tucks away the apple. Actually, no. She'll gesture to one of the other elves and be like, "Oh, Kemma, here for you." And you see a little elven girl, not quite like Tyrion Darrington referred to Vex as, but an actual little elven girl approaches and sort of tentatively takes the apple, staring at Cito the whole time, and then runs off.
Is this little girl a full elf? A half elf?
Make a perception check.
I just want to know how bad this conversation's gonna get.
Oh, man.
Perception is a 15.
With a 15, you can see that she is full elf. She
Oh.
has the full elven ears.
I mean, genes can be strong.
man.
Yeah.
Jericho has a
Like,
type. He's like,
It's about to be an episode of Maury.
Oh god. Jerry
Rena says,
Springer.
Yeah.
while I appreciate the treat for Kemma, I must ask why Jericho Walker had sent you to our village looking for me.
You
And you see she visibly tries to rein in her tone as she recognizes that, oh, he didn't tell them.
Cat just
Like-
goes, his last name is Walker. Did you know that? And looks at Faraday.
Wait, and
Didn't cover that.
he hasn't
You're
talked to
sleeping with him
you.
and
You
you
weren't
didn't know his
expecting
last
us.
Can't see.
No, I apologize for any miscommunications, but no, I was not made aware of your arrival.
Okay. I kind of like
We
put
need
a
your help.
hand. Yeah, I kind of like put a hand on Faraday's arm, like a take a breath. I'll handle this.
Damage control. Let's
Damage
do it.
Damage control. Let's go.
Damage control Rangers. Sorry.
Jared. So I'll start at the beginning and try and give you a short version if I can. Jericho is a friend of ours, and he sent us to you. We're trying to get into the Feywild, but we can't go by way of Singorn. And he said that you could help us. It's unfortunately it's urgent. We're looking for a friend of ours who's in trouble.
Make a persuasion check.
And of course I introduce myself. I'm Dermot, Faraday, Cad, Arathea, Cedo,
Kirsten.
Thurston, Landing.
She gives an expression of regard to each of you. When Cedo waves like a wavy inflatable arm flailing tube man, she kind of smirks and gives the same, regard.
I kind of like bluster my way through it, like, all right, short version, bare minimum details, no flair or finesse, so that is only a 17.
She says, I understand. First, it's going to take me some preparation to do so. It's clear that this is rather urgent. I would ask that you allow me some time to gather the necessary materials for preparation. In the meantime, I welcome you all to sit by the fire, rest for a moment. Kemma, dear, and you see she peeks again around the corner. The apple is about half gone at this point. Yeah? Could you fetch some rations, some food for our guests?
No,
they will be.
That's not necessary.
No.
I
We appreciate the
appreciate the
hospitality.
modesty and the manners. This is the way of Orencleft. Jericho also had some issues with it too. Just please, it's much easier if you just allow us to treat you to some hospitality.
We would be most honored. Thank you.
Thank you. But yes, Kemma, can you retrieve some food and accommodations for our guests? And you see okay, and she scampers off.
We can treat them to some hospitality.
Yeah, and
That's
if there's
too.
anything we can do to aid you in your preparations, name it. Anything. All of our group are we are all fairly talented in our own ways.
Well, first off, there is a price that I will ask of you, but for now, we'll set that to the side. Cedo, I actually could use your assistance if you'd be willing.
Of course.
Right this way. We'll go prepare. And she leads you further into the woods, actually beyond Orencleft.
He would follow
group.
this random stranger into the woods.
Don't follow some random
I
woman
think-
into the woods.
See you,
He's
friends.
a
It was
witch.
Tell
And
my
they
family I
never
love
saw him again.
them. Where's Cedo?
As-
Dead.
Oh, he did. As
Sacrifice.
Cedo steps away with Rena, there is a male elf, darker skinned, sort of ember-like eyes that's almost kind of glow in the night, but you're convinced it's most likely just the light of the campfire bouncing off. Visibly bald, but masculine features. He says, I'm Orium, I will take care of your horses if you'd like me to tend to them for the moment. We also have some spots by the fire prepared for you as well.
Okay, that's very
Uh,
kind.
Very kind.
Yes, and I point out one of the uh, exterior packs that the carriage has, and say any food that they require, just in that pack, there should be plenty.
I will ask. Will Well, I suppose. What is your preference? Would you prefer that your carriage and your horses travel with you?
Uh, if possible, yeah.
Of course. Then there is a special kind of food that we do offer to your traveling animal companions. And as he speaks in a very smooth voice and approaches the horses and regards each of them with some, rubs along the mane and all that. Some of the other elves have approached with small bowls of food. It looks distinctly vegetarian. There's no meat involved. It looks to be some strange sort of vegetable stew that has a teeny bit of a warm phosphorescence coming from inside of the bowl. Cito, as you travel with Rena, she stops by and grabs one of these bowls and offers it to you. You're going to need to feast on this for the travel.
Oh, okay. I guess we're going on a long trip, huh?
Oh, no. No, it's just outside the. Wow, I was expecting that to take a little bit more time. Okay. After you eat, you could feel your stomach getting a little, not upset, just
Gassy.
it's recognizing stuff that you've not eaten before. So it's kind of groaning, but not to an unpleasant degree.
Oh, I'm really full. I
Cito's
ate
the-
that way too fast.
Cito's the freshman that ate the whole pan of special brownies at once.
Yeah, these
Cito
are
just
so
like-
good, man.
A whole bag
Just,
of
like,
mushrooms.
sinks into a chair. Cito, go ahead and make me a nature check. Basically, Rena is stating you come to a small clearing just outside, essentially, the border of huts. There's still a little bit of a beaten path, but it leads to a small clearing where there are some strangely placed stones with some painted markings. She says, we need to gather a specific set of herbs. She describes them to you. So go ahead and make me a nature check to identify
17.
the herbs in the surrounding. Okay.
So-
With a 17, you guys spend about 10, 15 minutes gathering these specific herbs. And upon returning to her in the clearing, you see she arranges them in a circle about 20 feet in radius around these stones, using them almost as like a perimeter marking. After which she then steps to the middle and places some other herbs and small plants and other sort of spell components in the center. She then starts slowly reciting a spell. What languages do you speak, Cito?
Common, Druidic, Elvish, and Gnomish.
Okay. You can identify this as Druidic, as she is essentially appealing to the forces between the planes to allow the travel of one group to pass through to the Feywild. After completing this chant, she just turns and says, we now have to wait for a response, but in the meantime, why don't we return to your friends and we can sort of get better acquainted.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, it's the spirits.
Oh, are you?
Specifically the spirits between the planes.
Oh, how'd you learn how to do that?
My grandmother was a very accomplished druid. Fortunately, unfortunately, and you guys are having this conversation as you're approaching back to the bonfire. She says, we were gifted with a means of communing with them on a rather consistent basis.
Hmm.
It's strange. As a child, it sort of manifests as just voices, sourceless at first, you sort of think, but eventually you start to realize it's the spirits of everything around us speaking at once.
That's really profound and deep, and I really appreciate you for sharing that.
Thank you. It's, I will say, it's a blessing and a curse. And she says this as she's sitting with the rest of you guys at the fire. You never know when they're going to stop talking, so you can get some sleep or handle your business in the woods with some leaves.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah.
we don't need to get
recently
into
had-
the particulars.
We recently had a guy watching us go to the bathroom in the woods. It was really weird.
It's, you would think that you would get used to it, but you never really do.
No, and it's just weird, right?
Yeah, it's
just
very
weird.
strange knowing that there's spirits talking about you doing your business in the woods.
Mm. Mhm.
But that's all
anyway.
a side note. So how did you all come to know Mr. Jericho?
A friend of a friend, basically.
Understood.
He's
Remember which
fought some battles with us.
Well,
would be
we no,
fair.
All of you at the same
met-
time.
Yeah.
well, we met him up north. In
met him in
Jordan. We met him in
Jordan
Jordan
Village, yeah.
Village. Honestly, just kind of by
Right, I fell in love.
accident.
She's like, elbows. God.
She's muttering that under her breath.
Well,
Swear
at
to
first it was
God.
just drinking,
Dang.
right? We were just drinking with him. I feel like we met him after that whole fighting thing.
There was definitely a bar involved.
Yeah.
That tends to be
really-
how we meet most people.
This one was the particularly bad alcohol. The really bad alcohol.
I mean, but like everywhere we go tends to have bad alcohol unless we're at my house.
I think
It's
you
pretty
just
true.
have really expensive taste.
That's not true. Lady Derola's Skyship had really good alcohol.
Well, obviously.
That doesn't discount what I just said. I think Lady Derolo has really expensive good alcohol.
And that place in Iman had good alcohol, but that was on Kima and Alorastein, kind of.
Oh, no, not kind of, totally, because I'm pretty sure we charged it to their tab.
We sure did.
You see that Kama has snuck up and sat in between Cad and Arthea as you guys are talking, and she is also eating some of this soup, and she's just like absorbing all of the conversation. And then she turns to Rena, is like, "What's bad alcohol taste like?" And Rena's like, "Well,
You know when
when
you
have-
accidentally eat a piece of fruit that's rotten and you know it's supposed to be sweet and it's very bitter?
Yeah.
Like that?
Oh.
But mixed with some very dirty socks.
Oh. Rena's like, yeah, you know what? That's pretty much the exact same comparison I was going to go with. So, yeah, it's pretty much on brand. And Kema's like, why would you do that to yourself?
I question that quite regularly. You are an intelligent young woman.
Yeah, thanks. You see Rena smiles. Yeah, Jericho did love to frequent the dives of Taldore.
So, how do you know Jericho?
I used to go adventuring, like I'm sure you guys all have. I've heard some name drops. Impressive. Wasn't expecting to hear some of those, but well done. You've done better than most that I've come across. We sort of bumped into each other. There was some monsters in the Ivyheart thicket that I had, in my travels, come to understand were causing some problems for some of the local hunters, and me, ever trying to offer my services to the spirits of the land and also to civilized peoples, decided to take up this quest. And unfortunately, I came upon Mr. Jericho, who was also on a similar quest.
So you decided
You
to
can
team up
speak
and
plainly. Yes, we teamed up for a while.
adventure together.
Yes. More so for a time. But
Did it not? And well, I only ask because I myself understand wanting to say, something to the effect of Jericho, that asshole. But, not about Jericho, of course.
no, you can call him an asshole. That's really okay. Um Eventually there was a time when my adventuring days were starting to come to a close. Unfortunately, my mother had grown ill, and sort of presiding over this village was her task that had then been bestowed to me. So I had offered to include him on retiring, as it were, and that conversation didn't go well.
He wasn't ready to retire.
No, monsters to be slain, jobs to do, that sort of adventurous duty that he gave himself, I believe, at some point. He started doing work for somebody by the name of the Gentleman, and unfortunately, it sort of turned into a slippery slope. One job turned into three, three jobs turned into five, and now I'm pretty sure he's just consistently on the Gentleman's payroll.
So he was in Wildmouth then.
Yes, we actually did travel quite far together. It was quite fun. I will say the alcohol in Wildmount, it's got more of like an earthier taste. It kind of hits a little stronger.
The honey mead. I'm from
The
the Cadranas myself. I
miss the honey mead. It was fun. It was
indeed.
lots of fun. But I guess he was just one of those that didn't quite know how to stop doing the adventuring thing. So
So he's not the settling type, it sounds like.
no, and I apologize for my tone earlier. It was more just memories quickly being dredged up. It took me a while to move forward.
Well, we sincerely apologize for that. That was not at all our intention. We were rushing to get here because we were under the impression that you were waiting for us.
He probably was a little afraid to contact me, uh, given how things were left. So, while it is still shitty of him to spring this on, sorry, Kema. She goes, I've heard it a bunch of times. It's okay. Who says that? And Orium says, I'm gonna check the horse set is making a sound, and he just like quickly gets up and runs. Huh. But I have no problem opening a gateway. I will advise that the food, and she gestures to the stew, it will help with the transportation. It settles your stomach. Moving between planes can sometimes be a little jarring on your physical self. So it merely is a way to alleviate some of the nausea. And we do add some spices, so it is quite pleasant to the taste.
What is in it exactly?
It's several herbs that we actually grow specifically here in Orencleft. Um, Technically, some of it does grow in the Feywild itself, but it doesn't have a lot of the, I suppose, mentally affecting properties that some of those plants and herbs tend to have. But when
Shame.
cooked into a stew, it actually has stabilizing properties for your stomach. So, yeah. Plus, there's good spinach. There's some good lettuce in there. It's quite good.
And it glows.
Well, it's some of the Feywild magic coming through. But when you see her ears perk up, seems that we've got a favorable response. So if you all are ready to travel, or do you need time to rest? I think they're going to be essentially on call for whenever we need them for a little bit.
Do we
I
need
mean,
to
I
do
think that
anything?
I think that we're going to be decidedly unsafe for a while. It would be good to not have to be on watch for one evening before we go.
This place is relatively off the grid, at least in terms of Singorn and whatever motivation they're pursuing these days. Nobody really comes over here.
That's probably for the best. The way things are going, you want to be off their radar right now.
I've heard similar things, yes. Landon actually says, if it's all right with you guys, I think this might be where we part ways for the moment. And hey, listen, he turns to Faraday. I hope things work out, and I hope you find your friend. Well, can't be worse than home at this point.
Did we ever contact Gilmore about Landon?
So
I thought you did.
Did
No?
we just
Okay.
say we were going to?
We were gonna do a bunch of stuff that night.
Hey, the night.
It's not a bad plan. He looks to Rena. It's perfectly fine. Not a problem. We'll make sure that there is a spot for you to rest. He says, all right, well, at least that's taken care of. I'll say, because I know you guys had intended on having the conversation with Gilmore, I'll just give it to you that he has planned on rendezvousing in Orencleft here in the next couple days to assist with guiding Landon back home. Plus, it will give him an opportunity to look into those ruins to pinpoint exactly where he had discovered them. So we'll say that that is squared away.
Did Gilmore tell us how he plans to get the hell down here?
I have ways.
Well, but teleportation circles are quite dangerous at the moment, and I'm pretty sure, to the best of my knowledge, your closest one is in a city that's being besieged. I'm simply
Well-
concerned for your safety.
Well, that's all well and good, but when you're buddy-buddy with the voice of the Tempest, she has her own means of teleporting through nature, so...
See, that makes much more sense.
Wow, calling the voice of the Tempest to say, "Hey, can I get a ride?"
Yeah.
Gilmore, what the... I'm in the middle of training the fucking... Fine. It's not like I'm doing anything. But...
Cat will like take the mansion doorknob out of the bag of holding for the evening and just look at Rena and just say, we have our own accommodations here. There's no need to displace anybody from your village on account of us. But we do appreciate it.
It's not a problem at all. We do tend to normally have a small screening process just to make sure that the visitors who come through are trustworthy and, welcome.
Intelligent.
Thank you. We don't typically offer this connection to the Feywild on a whim. We want to make sure that the people we are sending through are worthy. And considering your connection with Jericho, I see no issue with offering this as a favor.
We greatly appreciate it. again.
Of course. The price that I had mentioned earlier would be okay. It's relatively small. It's nothing monetary. We don't really need money here.
Christian puts his wallet back.
It's really a small thing.
Kermit draws Fiona. Paid for in song.
No, it was something I always wanted to do but never got the opportunity. Next time you go drinking with Jericho, can you just throw a drink in his face? Just for me.
Do you want each of us to do that, or just one drink needs to be thrown? I simply want to make sure I have the right number counted.
The more the merrier. Sam, since you stepped away, Rena has stated that her price for doing this favor is the next time you all are drinking with Jericho, just one of you or all of you, just throw a drink in his face for her.
I'll be first in
Unfortunately,
line.
Couldn't quite do it when we were a partnership, so. But
Wait, so do we all have to do it?
Don't worry,
I leave that
Ren.
up to you. Just
We
as
are
long as
all
one
heavy
drink
drinkers.
ends up in one face that is named Jericho, then I have no issue with it.
I feel like it would be good luck if we did that. If all of us did it.
Could be.
Better use of some of the drinks that we end up ordering.
True.
Yeah, I would stay away from fire whiskey, personally. That tends to really cause problems for the digestive system. But yes, if you'd like, we can set up a place for you all to rest for the night, or are you proceeding forth?
I
Uh,
believe we
yeah.
will stay here and rest.
Understood. If you would like, we do have a small guest hut. It's not spacious by any means, but it could work. I also don't know how spacious your carriage is. Sorry, this isn't quite expected by any means.
Are the carriage is deceptively large. We'll although I'm sure some of us wouldn't mind a change of scenery.
Well, for those who would like, there is a place for you if you would like to stay in your surprisingly well-built carriage. Then there's no judgment. Is there anything you guys wish to do before the night passes?
I want to
Um,
pull Rena aside a minute.
just at the tail end of this current conversation, I just explained that the carriage was a commission done by the craftsman at Gilmore's Glorious Goods.
She breaks out into
plug
boisterous
that.
laughter. That guy?
One and the
I
same.
love his robes. I always wanted a set of my own, but I didn't want to pull from his vibe by also having the same vibe. It's like going to a party and seeing somebody else wearing the exact same dress that you are. It's just awkward, and I didn't really want to cause any problems, so.
Not at all. That's the best way to make friends.
That's fair.
You walk up to
It's
that you
not.
walk up to that person and say, "Nice dress."
I'm pretty sure if that ever happened to me, I would immediately leave whatever event I was at.
And that tells me you're a noble.
I do tend to accidentally give that away quite easily.
Yes, that's okay. I've come across a couple of you in my adventures. You're welcome here. Your money is no good here, though.
It's just blowing away again. So confused.
Cito, you wanted to have a conversation with Rena.
Yeah. So I would pull Rena aside. Hey, question for you. I was
Yeah.
noticing this is a really peaceful, really beautiful area. So I have a pretty big family, and they live out in the forest, and they're kind of close to an area that's being besieged at the moment. If something happens and they need to find a new place, would it be okay if they came here? They wouldn't impose too much.
Sure.
They all
If you know,
they like to eat leaves and things like that, so they aren't too too bad. There seems to be a lot over here, so
yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. How many are your family?
oh, um,
A
well,
few hundred tops.
including me, um, carry a one, like over 300. But
Okay.
they are the friendliest creatures you will ever meet in your life.
You
They're
say
kind of like me.
creatures.
Mhm.
Okay. May I ask, are they also gnomes?
No, no.
Okay,
No.
that clarifies something for me.
Mhm.
What are they?
Oh, they're.
Orcs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have led with that. They're Kawakas, actually.
Oh, I see it now. Okay.
Yeah.
The Yes. The forest around Orencleft is quite spacious, so there is more than enough room should your colony need to relocate.
Oh,
That shouldn't
thank
be a
you. They're all
problem.
very helpful too, and very loving, and obviously very happy. So,
I gathered as much just based off of your disposition.
thanks.
But yes, should things get difficult, they are more than welcome to come to this area.
Sounds good. I much appreciated. Much
S-
appreciated.
If I may ask, so you're a gnome amongst a family of quokkas?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah. They found me, and took me in, and they raised me. I had a lot of leaves and berries and things like that growing up, and just kind of became one with nature. And in more ways, than one, it kind of became a part of me.
Hmm. Well, that's very nice of them to take you in. Wouldn't expect that from a family of quokkas, to be perfectly honest, but
Well,
that's wonderful nonetheless.
I know that they're kind of, strange creatures, obviously seemingly very just happy all the time and just kind of in their own little world, but you can always depend on them.
Hmm.
They're always there to help. And if anything, they're just going to smother you with love,
Mhm.
like any good family.
I like you, Cito.
I like you too. And thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I've been kind of stressing about that, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I mean, there's other forests around, but this one actually seems peaceful. Out, outside of the random owls I'm hearing or something. But
There are some owls that do fly through this forest from time to time.
I'm not too worried about that. Usually, quokkas are a little plump to be carried away.
Well, Cito, you and your family are more than welcome anytime you'd like.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
And just as a don't lose the smile.
I'll
You'd be
try not to.
surprised how many adventurers lose that as they continue to travel.
Well, you know what they say about smiling. You don't know when it's going to brighten somebody else's day who's having a really bad one.
I'll have to remember that.
Thanks. I
Anyway.
just made that up.
Well, I'm going to go and meditate for a while. Um, you all have free reign of Orencleft. I will see you all in the morning.
Thank you.
Is there anything else anybody wishes to do?
I'm gonna take first watch I'm not foolish enough to not take watches.
Before you get there, Faraday,
I'm gonna the next. I'm gonna call Jericho.
Eh. Hey, babe.
Kiss, kiss.
So funny thing. So start with how's Iron Sea careful. Left. Rena had some interesting things to say about you.
moment goes by, and then you hear, sorry about that. It would have been weird if I'd explained before.
Kind of weird now.
She is trustworthy.
She's gonna huck us to some random dimension.
Blood hunters and Pike arrived. Things are tense but hopeful.
Heading wild. I'll contact.
I'm sorry for making things weird. Please be careful. Things are going to get better. By the way, I love you. Obviously delivered with more like,
Eloquence.
you know,
No, I like
eloquence.
That. No, I like the rushed like.
By the way, I love you.
Haha, she can't respond. She's out of sending. Haha.
Yeah.
I think I am. I don't know how many charges you don't have. think that might be
He's
out.
like, yes, I will wait until the second message. Okay.
Did you inadvertently leave him on red?
Yeah, he didn't actually plan for it, so he's like, oh fuck, oh shit, was that too soon? Did I fuck up?
Not
What's
realizing
up?
that I'm not
LOL.
the ability to send
Probably
back.
shouldn't tell your girlfriend you love her for the first time when you sent her to meet your ex.
Ex.
Oh, shit.
I guess
In the
that's a
morning.
no-no.
Smart dude.
In the morning, he just gets LOL. Saws my phone died.
He stayed up the entire night freaking out.
Oh, I can finally go to bed.
Yeah. All right. So
Uh,
Dermot and oh, Cito, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm assuming there's no Kawakas in the area, correct?
Make a perception check.
Tiny Frederick didn't follow us.
He catches him like.
Oh, buddy.
Had to give some scritches.
22.
22. Looking in the area, you don't see any other quokkas.
So with a 22, are there any opossums or possums?
With a 22, I'll say you spot a possum.
Okay, cool. I go over to the possum. Now, this is my reasoning. I specifically asked for a possum. Cito, obviously knowing nature, knows that they're also a marsupial. So, they could probably communicate realistically. It might be like a weird, broken kind of like, us up here in the north might, there might be an accent or something like we're talking to someone in the south or something. But like, it's like a Kawaka accent. Probably sounds a little Australian, is my guess. So anyway.
As you approach the possum, it arches its back and like crawls up the side of a tree like.
It's from Jersey.
Well,
What are you doing?
Yeah. What are you doing? Why are you getting so close over here?
Hey, yo, Cito!
Hey, yeah. Hey, Cito, how you doing?
Lord.
You need something? I know a
And me
guy.
and my friend Bernardi Havardi over here.
Oh God, I heard the legend.
Oh, it was so much fun. I loved Bernardi
Oh.
Havardi. I literally woke
was
up and
good.
thought of that name, like Bernardi Havardi.
God.
Anyway, so I go up to the possum. I can't speak with animals. Just, whoa. Hey, it's okay, little buddy. It probably sounds more like, but.
Who you
Oh.
calling buddy, friend?
Oh, who you calling friend, pal?
Who you calling
Not your-
pal, fucko?
Hey, fucko, I need your help. Champ.
All right, fucko. I'm listening.
So my family lives over I guess he would pull out a map. Kind of points in the direction. It's like over here.
Well, fucking good for them. What's that got to do with me?
So I'm gonna need you to go tell them that it's okay if they move over here. If things get real rough over there, I'm not gonna have time to go back and tell them. And I can't really like magically communicate with them.
What do I look like? A messenger bird?
Listen, I will give you. He pulls out a watermelon seed, makes a watermelon. I will give you this whole watermelon, and then a watermelon the next time I see you.
La-di fucking
you-
da. These people make really good stew. Well, I
It
want a
is true.
fucking watermelon.
It is
How am I
true.
going to eat a watermelon? You tell me, a possum. How am I going to break in and eat a watermelon?
Because you have big claws. You can just scratch your way into it.
Oh,
Like
so
a-
now I got to do the work to eat your watermelon.
Do you want me to break it? I'll break it.
Oh, now you're talking down to me. I'm a possum. I'll do this for you.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to help
Somebody
you.
believes
Would you
trash,
would you
you're
prefer
very
an apple?
choosy.
Would you
Tell you
prefer
what,
an apple?
This possum is a real piece of shit.
Go ahead and
It's like the most ghetto opossum ever.
Have you
Like
ever
a-
met
Oh,
a
he-
possum?
I'm
Possums
tearing
be
me out
assholes.
from the
That is
streets.
Or
exactly
does
what a
this
possum
is this possum like missing one of its like front teeth? Its left eye is like
Yeah.
super fucked up.
What are you
It's
going to
like
do for me?
it's like
He
it's like
smokes
looking
like
at me
3
but his
packs a
eyes
day.
aren't like
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check.
oh god. Oh god. A 2.
Oh no.
I'll tell you what. You make it 3 watermelons, and I'll think about it.
Fuck are
about-
you gonna
how
do with 3 watermelons, bitching about 1?
How about 3 watermelons, and I'll throw a nice apple on it so you can enjoy that now. So you don't even have to scratch your way into it.
Be less work.
Do you want me just to give you? I could make a few apples right now for you.
Fine.
How many apples do you want?
You tell me. How many can you make? So far,
Well,
I've seen you make 1 watermelon. Do you have to wait an hour and then make another apple?
That's a really great question. No, I don't. I pull out about like 10 apple seeds and then start making apples just using druid craft.
The possum goes, all right.
And you could
I
keep
see
the
you ain't
watermelon.
bullshitting.
And you could keep the watermelon.
Oh, I was gonna.
Oh,
But thank
okay.
you for your permission.
So I will remove 10 apples from my inventory.
Yes. Remove 10 apples and a watermelon from
And
your
a watermelon.
inventory. Sam?
I'm not there. Doesn't matter.
Don't worry. You can just like make apples and then take the seeds out of those apples. Like,
Oh, yep. I'm just thinking about the last time y'all bought fruit, where that came from.
That was fine.
Oh, that's why I make my own now.
I think that's in the bag of holding, actually.
But basically, you lay out all the fruit and he goes, all right.
Yeah, so can you go to this kind of particular area? You'll find Kawakas. Look for Frederick.
Yeah, sure.
Tell Frederick Cedo sent you. In fact, can I just like give you a note? Can I strap this note to you or something?
I don't even know what the fuck a note is.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
The
I'll
fuck
tell
are
you
you
what.
offering a note for?
This
Basically,
possum's a
this
dick.
possum, if I had to give an actual voice to this possum, it's Bill Burr.
That's who it is.
That's kind of
Yeah.
that's
Oh my
kind of
god.
you know what? That's a good point. What was your name?
Simon.
Simon. Simon, nice to meet you. I really appreciate you doing this.
Yeah,
for me.
fuck you too.
Yeah, you know what? You're a real piece of
Really is
work.
from New Jersey.
But I hope you enjoy these apples. And you know, if you can go tell my family that they can move over here if they'd like to.
Well, I'll
if
do
things get a
something with
little
those
dicey.
apples.
What are you gonna do with the apples?
Not your business, is it? They're not
No,
your
they're
apples
your
anymore,
apples.
are they?
This seems like a free forest, so yeah. I
It
hope
is
you
a free
enjoy 'em.
forest.
But you should enjoy
It's a
those.
free forest. I can do whatever I want with my apples.
You know, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. You're really intelligent possum.
Yeah, well, what can I say? Best possum you ever saw.
That's you're 100% accurate. You are the best possum I've ever seen. And the smartest, probably.
Okay, now you're just brown nosing. What more do you want? What do you want me to do now? Do some tricks for you? What you gonna offer a banana if I
you?
do a backflip?
I mean,
what do you want from me?
I mean, will you? I really need
It
to
was a
save some
fucking
of these
joke.
I need to really save some of these apple seeds.
Yeah, well, go save them and shove them somewhere the sun don't shine. How about that?
Like in my pocket. I have it in my pocket.
Oh dear Christ!
Who's Christ?
You don't need to know about Christ.
He's my buddy in the other
It's
tree.
Yeah, it's the competing cult instead of
Yeah.
the cult of Bungie or whatever.
Yeah.
It's this annoying
Yeah,
long-haired
Bungie.
hippie who's oh, I'm gonna come back to life. Okay.
Like anybody can't fucking do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
All you
fucking.
need is a
I think we
diamond, like-
don't we have him in our backpack?
A little skeletal hand perks up out of the bag and just waves.
Yeah. Yeah, we have 2 religions in one backpack. Like, we have the Bungie and Christianity, apparently.
Man, it's so weird. They're warring all the time. It's really
Well-
annoying.
Well, one lives in the other one, so that's odd.
That's a
Territory
sentence.
disputes.
There's some
Jesus
weird,
Christ.
Yeah.
there's like weird symbolism happening there
I
that
think
Mhm.
we're breaking Sam. I think
Oh,
Sam is broken.
Are we actually
Right.
just
Yep,
trying to
we are.
rescue the Holy Town? Are we
Yep.
are we back to the Crusade campaign?
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm crying.
Jesus.
So anyway, Simon, yeah, if you could do that for me,
Yeah, sure.
thanks. You know,
Uh,
and if I mean I have cousins and sisters. If you know
yeah,
if you're
is that your
looking for a
family?
maid or something, yeah, that's my whole family. There's 300 and something of them, I think.
Oh, Christ.
You only need to tell like one, then it spreads like wildfire. When you
Yeah, it's
tell 'em.
surprising no one. You got a bunch of fucking Quokka cousins and brothers and shit.
Yeah, we love to talk and
Yeah,
smile.
I know you guys don't shut the fuck up is what you guys don't do.
Yeah,
Now,
that's it.
how about you leave me with my apples and you go do whatever the fuck you gonna do?
Oh, okay, great. I was really looking for a quick way to exit this conversation. So, thanks, Simon. Really appreciate you. And
Yeah.
yeah, enjoy the apples. And again, thank you. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye, fuck off. And you step away.
Way to fucko. Right.
God.
Simon the Possum.
Simon
If we
the
ever
Fox.
do a
If we
familiars
do-
game,
you have to
that's
be
surprising no one,
Simon.
that's gonna be my character.
Simon. That next time we do.
Oh, oh, oh. Yay.
That was
Um,
really hilarious.
So Dermot and Faraday are taking first watch. Go ahead and give me perception checks. Jesus.
Cujo, before I give my perception check,
Uh-huh.
I am going to begin playing. I am counter charming, and I have a 33 for my performance.
Christ.
I rolled a
He's a
19.
bard.
Oh.
All right. As you
So,
play,
Anybody
Kemma-
within 30 feet has advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed.
Sounds good. I will tell you that as you play, Kemma pokes her head out from the hut that she was staying in, and she doesn't fully come out and like dance or anything like that, but she does sit by the doorway and just sort of like peeks out and listens to the music, spellbound by the fucking sonnet that you are performing.
I mean, it's nighttime. Like, I'm not playing like fucking dance music. It's
That's fair.
lullabies and softer and calmer shit.
Gotcha.
Sandstorm, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So Dermot and Faraday, go ahead and give me those perception checks. Faraday, what'd you get? 14.
14.
Okay. Two of you sit out. Nothing seems to be amiss in the forest. As you can hear, you hear the sounds of owls hunting in the distance. You can hear the crickets in the bushes, but otherwise it's a very peaceful night.
At some point, I just lean over and say, "It's okay. I knew you were gonna tell me about Mako." Well, like I said, you could, as strange and unsettling as he is, especially now, I think you could do a lot worse. You okay? Do you have cool superpowers now? And by cool, I mean better. Like, can you fly? I think in my head that's really cool. Can you hear people's thoughts too? Okay. That is all. That will also come in handy. You and I are a lot of things, but one thing that we are not commonly described as is quiet.
You're right.
I'm always right. When have I ever been wrong? See?
All right. Who's taking second watch? Okay. Cito. Anybody else?
I can go with.
right.
I am going to retire into the hut provided to us.
Okay.
We're much further south, and it's what time of year is it again? It's like late summer, fall,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Even with it being late summer, early fall-ish, where temperatures up by Amman and Whitestone start to drop, in this region, it's still got that a little bit of the sticky summer humidity.
Okay.
So the hut is offered to you. There are some small straw beds that are laid out. Nothing grandiose or comfortable by any means, but there's something. But yes.
Thurston was 110% sleeping in the portal. Yeah, no.
I will fetch Thurston. If that helps.
All right. Cito and Thurston. Go ahead and make me perception checks.
14.
14.
13.
13. You guys keep an eye out. Cito, I will go ahead and give you this. You just, out of curiosity, you glance in the same direction you saw Simon in, and you see 5 apples and a watermelon sitting on the ground. Simon is nowhere to be seen.
This guy just leaves his shit around.
Who exactly?
This possum I was talking to earlier. I had to ask him a favor, so I made him some apples and a watermelon, and now he's gonna go talk to my family. They're marsupials. There's like a little difference in accents. Like they can understand each other, I'm assuming, but it might sound a little weird, or you can definitely tell that they're from different regions.
How interesting.
Yeah, so yeah.
God,
Yeah,
Rhodes.
if you need that was perfect, by the way. I'm just gonna keep rambling on about talking to this possum.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah, just normal.
And Thurston is trying to be very
Just
like,
mm. Did you want an apple? I think possum left some
I
over
wouldn't
there.
want to take anyone else's apple. That would be rude.
Oh.
So I'm good right now.
Well,
I
I can
eat
always
too late, it may give me indigestion or something of
yeah,
that nature.
heartburn
So,
even
yeah,
sometimes if it's a little too acidic. Yeah,
yeah,
sometimes
absolutely.
though I enjoy them, like sometimes like some oranges or something, it gives me it's a little too much acid reflux, and
Yeah,
I'm making these weird burps. Yeah.
terrible.
Mm.
The bonds have never been stronger between Cito and Thurston as they discuss acid reflux.
Acid reflux. When was your friendship really forged and strengthened? When we talked about acid reflux, it's a real epidemic.
Yeah. All right. Who's taking the third and final watch?
At some
All
point.
right. All right.
I am not sleeping in the hut. I'm sleeping in the mansion.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm
Eventually goes
sleeping
to,
in the
like, he
mansion
stops
as
by
well.
your room on his way to his own, like, all right, and you like, but he has to wake. He's like, oh no, that means I have to wake up, Cad. Oh no. And so
To be fair, she's sleeping wherever Arthea is, which is usually in the library, so you probably only have to wake up Arthea.
Arthea's trancing, so before that, so Thurston might luck out.
I'm gonna
He
go.
could peek his head in, and Arthea will just be like,
oh. Walked away because he was like, how do I do this safely? Honestly, Mage Hand might be the best option.
I mean,
Cujo,
I was gonna press the
go.
digitation, just like, a little bit into the. So.
All right. Cito, what was your last thing you wanted to do?
Before I go back to bed, I go just look over by the apples and that watermelon, just see if he's even there still.
You approach the apples and the watermelon, and as you glance around, you see that the possum had shit on the sides of the watermelon and the apples that were not visible to you when you were keeping watch. So as you approach, you just smell excrement coming off of your offering. And Simon is nowhere to be seen.
Oh. Well, I hope he's okay. Simon? I look up in the tree. Can I just roll a perception check?
Make a perception check.
22.
22.
I'm looking up in the tree, just around.
With a 22, you look around the whole area, and the possum known as Simon is nowhere to be seen.
Is there a poop trail or?
Yeah, I'll say there's no poop
Jesus.
trail because a significant amount of poop went onto the apples and watermelon, so there's nothing
Oh.
really to trail behind Simon.
Well, I don't really have water to clean those off. That's kind of a him problem. The transaction's been done. If he wanted to shit on the currency, that's his own problem, I guess, at this point.
Possums are assholes. I've made that decision.
Yes, that's so funny.
So true.
I throw some leaves on there just to, I guess, help him out, clean the crap off later. So
Okay.
and then I go to bed.
Got it. All right.
And you know what? I'm actually gonna go sleep in one of the huts because I want to kind of connect with nature a little bit.
Sure. Make me a nature check, just for fun.
11.
Okay. So before we get to the result of that, Arthea and Cadriel, go ahead and make me perception checks for your third and final watch.
Natural 24, 27.
Jesus.
21.
Okay. You guys keep an eye out. The light of the bonfire is slowly starting to dwindle, so you're just kind of seeing the shadows grow a little bit longer around the small village itself. But as you sit and keep an eye out, it's a really peaceful night. Nothing approaches, nothing untoward seems to happen. Everything seems calm.
They're on watch. Kat's gonna take out that new dagger.
Mhm.
And she's gonna really examine it. Thinking about Dermot identified it for her as he didn't get much aside from unmaking.
Mhm.
She just kind of looks at Arthea and she goes, what do you suppose unmaking means? If I stab something, do you think it's just gonna... I don't know.
Don't take this the wrong way, but let's not use this one on ourselves.
Makes you think I would use it on myself.
I just said
I didn't use a magical dagger when I did that.
Okay. I'm just putting it out there. Okay, well, I don't know. Get something and stab it.
Do I notice the apples and
I'm just saying, try get something alive and something not alive.
I will say with your-
You see
like,
Simon.
is there something I can see that's alive?
With a 21, in your immediate vicinity, I mean, the closest you think is like an owl that's a couple hundred feet up in a tree.
Is that Stella?
Okay, first of all, I didn't mean an animal. I meant like anything. It could be a plant. What the hell is wrong with you?
Well, fair point. She goes up to a bush.
Okay.
I don't really. How do I stab a bush, Arthea?
Holy shit.
Do I just like?
I'll say as you approach the bush, you come to a strange gathering of 5 apples and a watermelon, each with this strange, like, slapped on bits of leaves, and you smell the smell of shit coming off of it, but I'd say that next to the bush, you just see this collection of fruit.
Ugh. Fill that shit on fruit and leave it there. Well, okay, I guess she takes the dagger and she just like grabs one of the branches and
Okay. As you do that, there's a little red spark that kind of comes off right where the dagger connects with the tree, with the branch of the bush. And the branch itself turns to dust and disappears. And Arthea. Yeah, that bush always had been missing that branch. You don't even know why she walked over there. That branch always looked a little weird. It looked like that, like part of it was supposed to grow another branch, but maybe there was just something with the growing or the growth, maybe just some weird side effect. You don't know, but now
Did
you
you
think
see
about it,
that?
you're not quite sure why Cadriel walked over to that branch in the first place. Also, Cad, the red gem in the center of the hilt dims, and it's now just like a black, like a dull black.
Did you
Cad,
see
you have memory of everything that just happened.
she's like holding the bush powder, I guess, and her like the disintegrated, or is it
The
gone?
moment it is gone, it immediately evaporated in front of you.
Did you see that?
See what? The poop covered watermelons?
No. There was a branch here growing out like this.
There really wasn't.
There was. I cut it off with the dagger. Look at the gem. It's a little dimmer than it was before.
Say, Arthea, you with your insane perception, you can see that it was glowing before. Now it's dim.
Sparked.
From my memory of that, so I obviously did not see her cut a branch because the branch never existed. So
Yeah,
is my
you
memory
saw her-
just walk over there.
You saw her just walk over there and then turn around and say, "Did you see that?"
So is it like there's a chunk missing?
From your perception, that bush had always been missing a chunk.
Okay. No, I mean like in my memory. Is there something that is or is it just seamless?
It's seamless. You are thinking about like, okay, she said that there was a crazy branch. You remember riding it on the cart. You remember looking around. You remember seeing that bush and being like, oh, that looks a little fucked up, but whatever.
Cranky.
But
No.
it's seamless.
You don't remember.
I don't know. I don't You walked
Arthea,
o-
it unmade your entire perception of this.
Oh. Yeah. That makes a lot more sense now.
That's the best reaction to anything. Oh, well.
You could have just said that.
Sorry?
No, no, that makes a lot more sense actually.
But Ranch, when I cut it off and the dagger lit up a little bit, dimmed, and at first it was like it disintegrated, and then it was there's nothing.
Well, yeah, no, because it never existed in the first place.
Chad looks around. Is anybody else from the group in any sort of vicinity?
I'll say Rena is up and about. She only had to trance, so she's tending to the fire. She's getting a little bit more firewood put down.
Go walk around. Yeah.
She'll like wave from her spot.
Don't tell Dermot. But I probably shouldn't put this in my rotation. He's probably right. That would be a bad idea to use.
Yeah. That's definitely going to be we probably shouldn't keep it out unless we are in a situation where we might need to use it. I mean,
Wonder what would happen if I stabbed Novus.
well, think about what would happen if you had a Novus-sized hole in the history of the world.
Seems like it might be bad.
Well, not
I mean,
necessarily. I'm just saying that's very.
I don't know what. I love a weapon, but this is a little much even for me.
Yeah. Think about like everything that you do has an impact on everything else. So if there's no Novus, then is there Faraday? And is she Faraday? Because she might not be.
Who else would she be? Molly? Like, that doesn't make sense.
She could be anyone. She might not even exist. In that world, maybe there is no Faraday, maybe there's no Gadriel. I'm just saying that I can over or unwrite, say, 6 seconds.
Wait, you can do that too?
Well, yeah. I mean, how do you think happens when?
I never really thought about it.
Yeah,
Arthea, you know all I can do is light, and she pushes the stupid pendant on her.
Nikki, and it's just bright, beautiful light emanating off of Gadriel once again.
She's like glistening.
When I cast
she adds in a hair flip just for fun.
Mine doesn't do that, honestly. That's not how I learned it.
I've just always known it.
I know. I'm just saying, when I learned it, that's not how it worked.
I mean, magic is weird. This whole Raven Queen thing, all these books. There's charts for spells.
Well, yeah. I mean, how else would you do them?
I don't have to do math to stab something, Arthea.
Conversations between rogues and wizards on the confoundities of magic.
I'm just imagining what my artificer textbook actually looks like on the inside.
It's just equations.
It's like an engineering textbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, with those like math problems that take up 3 full-ass pages.
No,
person looks at it and goes, "No."
There's
No, I just think about it and it happens.
Yeah.
So,
like, what do you mean study?
Yeah.
So if you can do the same thing that this dagger does, could you amplify its magic? Could it amplify yours?
I don't know, and that's okay. I never really thought about it until, well, these last few months, because it's not something you do really frequently. But every time one of those little things changes, there's no guarantee what comes out of it. You're basically unraveling a little tiny piece of a timeline for one person and just letting it reweave just a little. Maybe it'll end up the same way. I mean, there's no guarantee it could end up. Maybe that's just how things go. Maybe things will be a little different. That apparently can just remove things, entire things. Changing an event a single decision can have massive ramifications, depending on the choice. Removing a person or an archfey?
What about a lich?
Uh, uh, Removing a lich gotch? Yeah, I mean, you can unmake things, but you don't know what you're gonna get. What happens? Something has to fill that hole. Either that or the universe destabilizes and everything collapses and we all are just not existing anymore.
I don't like that option.
I'm just saying, I mean, like, we are honestly are probably on our way that direction anyway, so it might be better. But I'm just saying we should be careful with that dagger.
Just
Like,
gonna slide it back
yeah,
into the sheath. and it
in the
will
sheath,
sit.
always in the sheath, and if we need to use it, we just should be using it with caution. Because I don't think there is a way to know what world we'll be living in. And you said you remember a bush. I don't. As far as I remember, we came here and we looked over there and it looked like a janky bush. It looked like someone maybe had, I don't know, chopped something off years ago, or it grew funny. You remember a series of events that no one else does. If you use that on a person, how much are you going to remember that no longer?
I mean, I guess I would be the only one to remember.
Just
That's a
saying,
lot.
that's a lot. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's. I'm not saying we shouldn't keep it as an option. There are situations where maybe you want to, well, excise things, but it's something we should use with caution. And definitely not accidentally grab it instead of one of your daggers and like throw it at someone.
No, I just the good daggers I keep right here, and she looks pats her thigh.
I don't know how you don't
Like
get stabbed.
12.
I honestly, I
It's
don't
like a garter
understand.
of daggers.
I don't understand how you don't get stabbed when you sleep.
I don't wear it when I sleep. They stay under my pillow.
This is why we wake you up with mage hand.
Picturing all of the weapons Kat has under her pillow. So her pillow's like this high, and this is where her bed is.
Just sleeps on top of it like a
Come on.
dragon horn.
It's her neck has
Come on.
just a 90-degree angle in it. Just
Back.
like this is
back-
totally comfortable.
Let's back to the. We should
mean,
probably, yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious. I mean,
Oh no, I definitely think we absolutely should have tested it. That's totally fine. If
do you
you were
think
gonna
that? I mean, this thing dimmed a little. Do you think that like put it in the sun to make it recharge? I don't.
I honestly I have no idea. Maybe that's it charging. I don't know. Maybe when you get rid of things, it like takes all that timeline and sticks it in there. And I don't really know. We'll have to check it tomorrow. Give it a day.
Have
Give it
the
a
souls too.
Yeah, that's going to be a group conversation, I think, in case maybe we want to get something from them.
Only one question each.
Well, we better make it worth it.
Yeah.
With that, Cedo. As you sleep in the shack, hoping to connect with this little bit of nature after having a somewhat eye-opening conversation with Rena. You said you got an 11, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're not sure. But you could swear you heard just a teeny little bit of whispering from like a very, very childlike voice.
Like
It's so faint and so quiet. You can't make out what it's saying. But you just
Yeah.
get this sensation that like there are more people around than you thought.
Is it like while I'm still like kind of sleeping? Like, do I just assume it's part of a dream I'm having?
With an 11, I'm gonna say that you probably assume it's part of a dream.
Mhm.
Um, but it lasts like right until your eyes open. Like where your body starts to wake up and you're like, okay, that was a cool dream, and you finally start to open your eyes. It lasts up until pretty much that point. And then the moment you open your eyes, it stops.
Hmm.
And it wasn't unpleasant or loud or grating. It was just there. And what you do with that is yours to do with.
I'll be honest. I'm just gonna assume it was part of a dream. So
Okay.
just
Sounds
like,
good.
that was a weird dream.
With that, it is now morning. Everybody awakens either from a humid and not so comfortable shack or in the comfort of their wonderful magical house. But you all awaken. Rena says, "Okay, okay, I'll tell them. Okay, calm down. Calm down. Okay, thank you."
Is something the matter?
Oh, it's the sometimes the spirits can get a little impatient with this sort of thing. It's okay.
Oh, well, can you apologize for us? We
Oh,
didn't mean to keep them waiting.
oh yeah. They said they're really sorry. They had a long trek and it was clear they were a little tired, so I decided to kind of let them stay. But, okay, you don't need to get a little sassy. Excuse me. Sorry. Um. Anyway,
I
have
don't
another ad on
understand what's
Twitch.
happening.
Sorry, sassy one this morning. Are you guys? Excuse me. Are you guys all packed up, ready to go? Anything else you guys need to do?
I think we're
Okay.
good.
We
Well,
bringing the Are we bringing the Larry and Steve and everyone with us?
Lee and Mo.
Jessup and Carmine
Tina
and
gave it 2 names before
Franklin.
she said just everyone.
I have a list somewhere and I'm not searching it.
I mean,
I don't know if we can.
it's not that hard. It's just Nancy and Steve.
Yeah, the portal actually the portal that Cito helped us start up is wide enough that you can bring your whole cart. Not a problem. But it's up to you. If you guys would prefer to leave it here, there's absolutely nothing preventing you from doing so. We will take care of your horses, make sure they're nice and fed.
How are we
I
getting
have.
back?
Right. Okay. I should have mentioned that last night. I'm so sorry. Okay, so traveling in the Feywild's a little, well, I suppose you guys know. She sort of gestures to Faraday and Dermot. You kind of have to travel with kind of like a constant willpower and where you're going because it's so easy to get lost. Just there is a tree on top of a hill with 2 large rocks right next to it. The tree has pink leaves. It's a little extra in the Feywild. I'm not gonna lie. So just be ready for some weird ass plants. But that is where the portal is gonna open, and it's gonna stay open for 3 days. This time, it's gonna be a week in the Feywild. So you have a full week in there. It's just gonna be 3 days out here.
When you say open, would that mean that others could potentially go through it?
Well, another fun little thing about that stew, it's sort of the Feywild's juju recognizing you as the only authorized users of the portal. The spirits are a little picky on who they want using this one for some reason, even though Singorn just moves back and forth whenever the hell they want. But I'm not. I wasn't talking bad about you. Sorry.
He says phrases like authorized users, and he's like, "You're finally speaking logically." Yes, I understand. Okay, I understand.
I
Tito,
have
what's up?
I have a question, Rena.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're obviously familiar, being a fantastic and awesome druid that you are. I'm sure you're
Thank you.
familiar with the animals around here, particularly Simon the possum.
Oh, you talked to
Yeah.
Simon.
So yeah. Question for you.
He's an
He was.
asshole.
Oh yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, one, we traded some fruit for. He's doing me a favor. If you see fruit covered in poop, that's his. I don't know if he was marking it. It probably is. Hey, question, because he also said he ate that stew. Does Simon travel into the Feywild as well?
Sometimes he stumbles in. I don't even
That's
think he
good.
means to. I think he just sees something to track down and pounce on and forgets that there's a portal that's in his way.
Yeah.
So he's a little scarred from those experiences. And unfortunately, it made him into an asshole. So I'm sorry
Well.
if.
Oh
you-
no, no worries, no worries. I just tried to put a smile on his face, and I think I got as close as I could possibly get, which is fine.
Yeah.
It didn't ruin my evening.
Well, I'm glad Simon didn't ruin too much. But all right, well, if everybody's ready.
I look to Dorothea. Steve, do you think anything?
Which conversation?
We got here?
Oh, you mean contacting?
Well, no, I'm thinking more just I don't really understand it.
Which part?
Talking about
Yeah, you kind of
Kind of.
go, yeah.
oh white noise.
Which part of what Mako said?
The lock stabilize the time.
I mean, we'd have to petition. So he's talking about contacting the person that Enrin found, or the entity.
I don't have enough time.
I mean, if it's, I mean, it, assuming it's that powerful.
Well,
As
didn't Rena just say that
we'd have
the
three.
portal will be open? It'll be 3 days on this side and a
Yeah.
week on the other side.
So we have, that's our conversion. If we finish things in less than a week there, then it'll be less than 3 days here. If it destabilizes and the portal closes, then we might want to. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if we need to contact that individual, and we probably will need to eventually anyway because of the other, well, I guess his companion, associate that we're carrying, we can probably do so from the Feywild.
Here.
All right. Well, if I do have one recommendation, it is when you walk through. It sounds stupid. Trust me, I get it. If you take your thumb and put it on the roof of your mouth and kind of press up to apply some pressure, it really does help with the portal sickness, as we call it. But the stew will be enough. It'll be fine. But yeah, if you'll just follow me, and she leads you back towards that clearing that her and Cito had worked on together. And instead of a big whirling bit of energy or, a swirling gate with, ruined structures resembling something of like a focus or an anchor to keep everything together, instead, you look in between these stones in this perimeter, and you see that the color of what you see beyond the stones is just a little bit brighter and almost like there's a mirage. Just nice and calm. Nothing crazy. Yeah, I told them about the thumb thing. Yeah. Sorry.
No apologies necessary.
But just step on in and you are on your way to the Feywild. Not a problem.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Rena. Appreciate
Not a
you.
problem. Be safe. No true names. Don't accept gifts. Yeah, those are really the big three.
It's 2.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Or is the be safe just its own
Well,
separate thing?
be safe is paramount. I mean, you don't want to get stuck out there.
Can I give gifts?
Likely not a great idea.
Kind of what I was thinking too. All right. And you guys, one by one, step through the portal. I must know who remembers to push your thumb to the roof of your mouth.
I
Ooh.
believe that's a
Can
thing.
I roll a percentile?
You can roll an insight.
Yeah, let me
I'm
roll
from
this.
the Feywild. Everything, like, shit's just crazy. Like, it.
13. She's pretty straightforward.
I do it then.
Yeah,
Okay.
if I see those two do it, I'm like,
It's like,
all
mhm.
right, all right.
Yeah, I'll do it as well. I rolled high on my
Like,
D100.
I don't remember having to do any of that kind of shit. Like, hijacking. Not hijacking. You know, stowing away in Singorn. But I don't know, like, how much more sophisticated a city's teleportation is than, this, you know, by comparison, backwoods, teleportation portal.
That's fair. All right. Arthea and Kat.
I don't think Kat
Dermot.
would have.
Okay.
She probably would have been like, okay.
If Dermot and Faraday were doing it, it'd be just like, I mean, it makes sense. Feywild's weird.
In Rome.
Okay.
Yeah, basically.
All right. Well, Cad, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. I'm kidding. It's fine. Right, give me a
Just
I'm
second.
kidding. You're
kidding.
vomiting
It's
everywhere.
actually
Yeah,
a
you're right.
wisdom
It's a
saving
saving
throw.
throw.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have disadvantage.
Okay. So, you all step through the portal and feel everything around you shift, almost like you're walking through a very light wall of just warmth and a little bit of humidity. And as you do, like a mirage, the image before you slowly fades until you step out. Thurston and Dermot. You step out into a mammoth forest with trees that would dwarf the size of the forest that you were just in. All along the ground, you see small little patches of mushrooms, brightly colored. Now that you've officially stepped into the Feywild, Dermot, you're familiar with this sensation. The color and saturation of everything around you is magnified, almost to the point that there's no black or dark or shaded area, really. It's just a more rich version of the color that the sun is hitting. And as you step out, let me give me something. Thurston, you swear you saw Chainhelm staring at you. I knew it. I knew you were not Thurston Nollard, the true heir to the Nollard throne. And you look down, and you're not in the Thurston form. You are in your changeling porcelain view. And just as you look back up, you see Widward smiling and laughing as he steps behind a tree and disappears behind it. You hear the screams of your siblings as you just have these flashes in your mind. They're being torn from their homes. You see the look of Sabelina, a look of disappointment as she's wearing a pauper's dress, working in the kitchens of Lord Widward. You see all of society drag the Nollard name. And your mind snaps back, and you're back in the forest, and you're back in Westrin. This time, Widward is now the Margrave, and you have been conscripted as a jester to perform and to make the subjects laugh, even though your family used to have renown and respect. You've been reduced to this sideshow. And your mind snaps back and you're back in the forest. Dermot, you stand next to Thurston as he seems to have problems perceiving what's going on around him. And as you do, you reach for him and you hear behind you, "Oh, don't worry, brother. We'll take care of that." And you turn and you see yourself, but slightly different. Instead of the bright beard and jovial professional look of the bard, you see a conniving version of yourself. And behind them, you see another version, and then another. And then you see, was that your parents? And you see all of them, each of them holding up a slug. "We'll make it better. It'll be fine." And they all slowly start to approach and move past you. And you turn, and instead of seeing Thurston, you see Faraday. Faraday standing, clutching her head, dark black tendrils of this same inky darkness that Mako loves to exhibit, slowly crawling up her neck and into her eyes as she screams terribly. I need both of you to make a wisdom saving throw. Cito.
Because I'm a local, do I have advantage on this?
I'll say you have advantage. That's fine. Cito, you step through, and you come upon a beautiful open plain with long fields of green surrounding you and a pleasant feeling. And as you start to walk through, you step on something. And you look down. You swore it was a rock. It felt hard, but you look down, and it's a quokka. And then you push past, and there's another. And another. And as you continue moving through this field, you see that the grain that is rising from the ground is rising from the decomposing flesh of your family. And in the distance, you can see some strange, like supernaturally large possums feasting on what you can assume to be quokka flesh as they bite and tear into it, their mouths bloody and gore just dripping down their form. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. Faraday and Arthea, you step through. You step through on the outskirts of what looks to be a beautiful manor that at one time in history had to be home to some long lost lord, a king or queen of a vast, beautiful nation. But nature seems to have reclaimed. You can see some vines and some moss, sort of reclaiming some of the eroded and broken stone. Faraday, you recognize this manor. And just as you recognize it, it's like static goes in front of your eyes. And instead you see Dermot held high above in the royal courtyard where you see Novus and all of their subjects surrounding you, laughing, Welcome back, darling. It's been far too long. His words eat into you, and you feel your whole body tense and chill. And he says, "Oh, don't worry. You won't be alone this time." And as he gestures, you see Ellis stepping around at his side. And she says, "Everything's fine, Faraday. We can stay here forever. All you need to do is wear this." And she approaches with a slug, and you find your movement sluggish. You can't pull away as she continues to approach. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. Arthea, as you come to looking at this beautiful manor that you remember Faraday describing to you, you can see your whole body slowly starts to sink into the ground. And as it does, you hear the voice of your family behind you. You look and can see your father and your siblings, all with this very same platinum hair and sharpened ears, as they say, "No, this is not our business. We must return home. Your business is not out there amongst the living. You must stay with us. You must not save them. They are a lost cause." And as you continue to sink, you realize that it's not the floor giving way, it's their hands, the hands of your family, your extended loved ones, pulling you from the ground deeper and deeper down until slowly your limbs, the ground rises higher and higher past your chest until you're just about to sink underground. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. Cadriel, you awaken in a dark forest of dead trees. You can see, you think you see at the very distance of your vision, creatures scampering in between the trees and the dead bushes around you. There's a low-hanging mist. And as you're sort of taking this in, you hear another sound over your shoulder, and you could swear it was him. You turn and look. Nothing there. You just hear. You hear that laugh, and it chills up your spine. You instinctively reach for Gladius. He's nowhere there. He's nowhere. You have no weapons on you. And then you feel the skeletal hand slowly drift onto your shoulder. And just instinctively you slap it away. Nothing's there. And just as you find a weapon, you turn and hold it high and turn and see Zaz wearing the same necklace that he once did. She mimicking your pose, blood covering the edge of the blade, all down her arm as she has the same look that you once had once upon a time. But her eye, the right eye, fiendish green, made up of the same energy that you've had so many visions haunting you from. And she starts to approach you. "Sister, he needed someone else. If you wouldn't serve him, I had to." And she just continues to walk towards you with a murderous look on her face. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. Thurston and Dermot, what'd you guys get?
15.
19.
Okay. As you both are experiencing this assault on your senses, this waking nightmare that you've stepped into, you almost unintentionally bump into each other and finally feel something physical and grip onto each other, your hands clasped together, willing yourselves to wake up. And a few moments pass before finally the voices of the ones in your nightmare fade, and you find yourself standing in the forest. No additional nightmares assaulting your senses. Everything seems calm. Although still alien, given that you're still in the Feywild. Cito, what did you get on your wisdom saving throw?
Question.
Yes.
Would this be based from magic?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then I got a 22.
22. As you are witnessing this horrific scene before you of these gigantic possums eating your family, you will yourself out of it. You focus in on your breathing and controlling where your mind goes until eventually your eyes slowly open and you have this beautiful plain before you. You look down, no quokka corpses. There's no gigantic possums in the distance. Everything's calm. But similar to those in the forest, the color of everything is magnified. The blue sky above has never looked clearer as the sun beats down gently across the landscape before you. You look around. Your compatriots are not with you. Faraday and Arthea, what'd you guys get? Okay.
22.
Okay. Similar to Thurston and Dermot, as you are racked with this assault on your mind, Faraday, you focus in instead on the power that Mako gave you and find strength as you resist the mental assault. Arthea, as you feel this sensation of being pulled underground, you know yourself to be resistant towards effects like this. You find strength in knowing that what you're doing and what your journey is leading to is going to save people. It's for the betterment of the world and of Exandria as a whole to adventure the way that you do. You take solace and strength in that. And in those moments, your eyes shoot open and you stand in front of that beautiful manor. Still on a hill, I'd say a couple 100 feet, maybe about half a mile off, but you stand together. Your compatriots not with you. Cadriel, what did you get?
It's Jackson.
Miss Jackson. You focus in on the memory of watching that necklace be destroyed and feeling his clutch, the Whispered One's hold on you, disappear. You focus in on that memory, and as you do, the voice, the constant taunting, the sound of your sister approaching with a bloody look in her eye fades. And your eyes open, and you are still in the dark forest around you. Your compatriots nowhere near you. However, one creature slowly, almost unmoving, slides from the tree line into your vision. It's total darkness, so you see a shape. Do you activate your light?
No.
Okay. This shape drifts towards you. Humanoid. Long, lithe features. Hair that almost rebels against gravity and shoots back in sort of a shock, almost like he's been electrocuted. You just see the high shoulders shift towards you, almost like Nosferatu moving across the ground. His legs never move.
Creepy as fuck.
And you hear a familiar voice. I come to offer assistance for a price. And you recognize the voice of Oban of the Unseelie Court standing across from you. You have wandered into my wood, and I have need of your talents. And that's what we're going to call tonight's session.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Feywild, motherfuckers.
What?
I'm home.
I love
Yeah,
Unseelie
you're
shit.
home. It's
I
great.
love Unseelie shit so much.
Um, Rena definitely could have like warned us about this.
That we were
Maybe
gonna
like made sure that we
Yeah.
ended up in the same spot.
Old
Yeah.
hands,
What
kids.
the fuck, Rena?
Give it time.
She was like-
all confusions will be revealed.
Jericho sent his new
Wait, so we're
side
not
piece
even
to
all
find me.
together?
Nope.
Oh,
You guys are
No.
in 3 separate locations. 2 of you, well, 1 of you by yourself. The other one possibly gonna be working with Oban. We'll see how all of that turns out.
I
I've been
assume
so
Cad
excited to
has
do
the
this.
wagon.
Did you guys take it with you?
I suggested that we did.
I made a portal big enough. Well, I helped make a
The
portal.
portal was big enough for us to do that. That's our shelter.
I could have swore that someone had said, let's just go by ourselves.
I don't remember.
I don't think we ever decided
I don't
because
think we actually decided.
Rena had said, "Oh, it's really hard to get around and easy to get lost," and I'm like, then we did something else. I don't think we ever decided.
Originally, going way back, we had said we were gonna leave the carriage
Hmm.
in Orencleft, thinking that like we would, if we bring it through. I mean, we have 2 horses and a carriage that we could potentially lose in the Feywild.
That's my
Yeah.
thing is I don't want to.
hmm
It's too nice.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know.
I mean, maybe we took the horses but left the carriage.
Why don't we say we
We
took
only
the
had 2
doorknob
horses.
and left the carriage?
Oh yeah, no, we took
Yeah.
the doorknob definitely.
I don't. I think
Cad
Was it
has it
Cad?
in the bag of holding.
Cad
Cad
usually
took the
has
doorknob.
So how about we settle with that so we don't.
Yeah. Oh god, at some point Thurston's going to realize he doesn't have the doorknob.
Mhm.
Or anything else that's in any of the bags.
She
or
has, like,
boxes
his
or
clothes that are in the-
Yeah, his closet
oh my
is.
God, where are my clothes?
Well, to everybody who tuned in, thank you so much. I've been excited to start this little arc
Mhm.
for quite some time now, but thank you so much for tuning in. We love you
Oh,
all.
God.
Our next stream, I believe, is going to be Sassy Sundays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be a boys only.
Okay. But
Are we
definitely,
playing next week?
I'm down.
Okay.
I'm good.
Just making
we don't-
sure.
Yeah,
we don't
I
even
think
I'm
get
super
paid
down.
anything,
I just
so-
We don't
Yeah.
do things no.
I mean- I will be making pies, but that's fine.
Nice. Love it.
I'll be eating pies.
I want pie. But thank you guys so much. Keep an eye on our socials so we can let you know of any other events we throw together. Keep in mind our next stretch goal is at 4,000. We get an all DM with the DMs of Extra Life playing in a game together. And also, Trig is going to eat the 1 chip challenge and record it so we can share it on our socials. It'll be great. So,
Get us there. We have until December
Yeah.
31st.
Yeah.
we'll get there. But
Nice.
thank you so much, everybody. We love you. Be nice to each other. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.